The letter looked harmless. One page, one envelope, one warning from the Homeowners Association. It said the trash cans had been left outside too long. The fine was only $50. But 6 months later, that $50 warning had turned into late fees, attorney fees, a lien, and the terrifying possibility that a family could lose control of the home they worked their entire lives to buy. This is how many HOA nightmares begin. Not with crime, not with disaster, not with a broken mortgage, but with rules. A mailbox, a lawn, a fence color, a parked truck, a holiday decoration, a payment missed by accident. Across America, millions of people live inside neighborhoods controlled by homeowners associations, also known as HOAs. Some people love them. They say HOAs protect property values, keep neighborhoods clean, maintain pools and parks, and stop one careless neighbor from ruining the entire street. But other homeowners describe something very different. A private government, a board of neighbors with too much power, a system where small mistakes can become expensive battles, a place where buying a home does not always mean you are completely free to use it however you want. And the most dangerous part is this. Many buyers do not fully understand what they agreed to until after they move in. Because when you buy a home in an HOA, you are not just buying a house. You are buying into a contract. You are buying into rules. You are buying into a system that can charge you dues, approve or reject changes to your property, fine you for violations, and in some cases, place a lien on your home. The names in this story are fictional, but the system is real. This is the story of how HOAs became one of the most powerful forces in American neighborhoods, and why every homeowner should understand them before signing the papers. To understand the power of an HOA, imagine a couple named Marcus and Elena. They are not rich. They are not careless. They are an ordinary family who spent years saving for a down payment. After months of searching, they find a beautiful home in a quiet neighborhood outside a growing American city. The streets are clean, the lawns are neat. There is a community pool near the entrance. There are sidewalks, young trees, and children riding bikes in the evening. At the open house, everything feels peaceful. The real estate agent mentions that the home is part of an HOA. Marcus hears the monthly dues and thinks, "That's not too bad." Elena asks what the HOA covers. The agent says, landscaping for common areas, the pool, neighborhood maintenance, and architectural standards. That sounds reasonable. At closing, they receive a thick stack of documents: mortgage papers, insurance forms, disclosure statements, community rules, covenants, conditions, and restrictions. The HOA documents are there. But after weeks of stress, inspections, negotiations, and loan approvals, Marcus and Elena are tired. Like many buyers, they skim, they sign, they get the keys. And for the first few months, everything feels perfect.
We're finally here.
Then the first letter arrives. It says their trash cans were visible from the street after the allowed pickup window.
So glad we did this.
They are confused,
Me too.
but not angry. They bring the cans back earlier next time. Then another letter comes. Their front yard has a small patch of brown grass. Then another. A flower bed edging they installed does not match the approved community standard. Then another. A work van parked in the driveway is not allowed overnight. Marcus is a contractor. The van is part of how he earns a living. Now the home that once felt like freedom begins to feel like a checklist. Every decision has a rule attached to it. What color can the front door be? Can they install a fence? Can they put up a basketball hoop? Can Elena plant a vegetable garden in the front yard? Can Marcus park his truck in the driveway? Can they rent the house later if they ever need to move? The answer is always the same. Check the documents. Submit an application. Wait for board approval. And this is where many homeowners first discover the true nature of an HOA. An HOA is not just a neighborhood club. It is a legal organization. It usually has a board of directors. It has governing documents. It has a budget. It collects assessments, commonly called dues. It can hire a management company. It can enforce rules. And the homeowner becomes a member automatically because the property itself is tied to the association. That is why a homeowner usually cannot simply say, "I don't want to be part of this anymore." If the house is inside the HOA, the rules run with the land. This is the heart of the conflict. The homeowner says, "This is my property." The HOA says, "Yes, but you bought property inside a governed community." And legally, both ideas can exist at the same time. HOAs became popular because they solved real problems. In many communities, they maintain things the city does not want to maintain. Private roads, gates, stormwater ponds, parks, pools, clubhouses, landscaping, streetlights, shared walls, roofs in condo communities, exterior insurance in some developments. Without dues, those things do not maintain themselves. A pool needs cleaning. A gate breaks. Grass must be cut. Insurance must be paid. Roofs eventually need replacement. In a perfect version of an HOA, every homeowner contributes fairly. The board acts responsibly. Rules are clear. Money is transparent. And the community benefits. But real life is rarely perfect. The board may be inexperienced. The rules may be vague. The management company may be aggressive. The reserve fund may be underfunded. Some homeowners may refuse to pay. Others may feel targeted. And sometimes, the people enforcing the rules are the same people living across the street. That is what makes HOA conflict so personal. If your city fines you, it feels bureaucratic. If your neighbor fines you, it feels like betrayal. Marcus and Elena begin attending HOA meetings. At the first meeting, they expect a clear process. Instead, they find a half-empty room, a tired board president, a property manager reading reports, and a few angry residents waiting for their turn to speak. One homeowner complains about speeding cars. Another complains about dogs. Another asks why the pool repairs are delayed. Someone questions why dues are going up. Then Marcus raises his hand and asks about the work van rule. The board president says, commercial vehicles are restricted because they affect the appearance of the neighborhood. Marcus says the van is clean, registered, and parked in his own driveway. A board member says, rules are rules. Another says, exceptions create problems. Elena asks if there is an appeal process. The property manager says they can submit a written request. So they do. Weeks pass. The request is denied. Then the fines begin. At first, it is $25, then $50, then $100, then late fees, then administrative fees, then letters from the HOA attorney. This is the moment homeowners often feel trapped, because the fine itself may not be huge, but the system around the fine can grow quickly. A small violation can create a balance. A balance can create late fees. Late fees can create collection costs. Collection costs can create attorney fees. And in some communities, unpaid amounts can eventually become a lien against the property. A lien is a legal claim attached to the home. It does not always mean immediate foreclosure. It does not always mean the homeowner will lose the house. But it does mean the dispute is no longer just a neighborly disagreement. It has become a legal and financial problem. And depending on the state, the governing documents, and the amount owed, an HOA may have the ability to pursue foreclosure. That possibility shocks many homeowners. How can a neighborhood association have that much power? The answer is buried in the documents people sign at closing. The CC&Rs often give the association the right to collect unpaid assessments, charge fees, and use legal tools to enforce payment. The exact rules vary by state. Some states have stronger homeowner protections. Some require more notices. Some limit foreclosure for certain types of debt. Some require court involvement. Others allow faster processes. But the larger point remains. An HOA is not just asking politely. It has enforcement power. Now, to be fair, not every HOA is abusive. In fact, many communities function quietly for decades. Most homeowners pay dues. Most boards handle maintenance. Most violations are minor. Most disputes never become lawsuits. Many people prefer HOA neighborhoods because they believe the rules protect them from chaos. They do not want a neighbor parking broken cars on the lawn. They do not want loud parties every weekend. They do not want neglected homes dragging down the look of the street. They do not want to personally argue with neighbors about shared fences, landscaping, or noise. For them, the HOA creates order. But order always comes with a price, and that price is control. When Marcus and Elena bought their home, they saw the clean streets. They saw the pool. They saw the landscaping. They saw stability. What they did not fully see was the invisible system behind it. Every neat lawn had rules behind it. Every uniform mailbox had rules behind it. Every matching fence had rules behind it. Every quiet street had a board, a budget, and enforcement power behind it. The question is not whether HOAs are good or bad. The question is, who controls the power? How transparent is the system? And what happens when regular homeowners disagree? One of the biggest problems with HOAs is voter apathy. Most homeowners complain privately, but never attend meetings. They ignore board elections. They do not read budgets. They do not review meeting minutes. They only pay attention when a fine hits their mailbox. By then, decisions have already been made. Rules have already been written. Contracts have already been signed. Budgets have already been approved. And the same small group of people may have been running the association for years. This is not always because they are power hungry. Sometimes, nobody else volunteers. HOA boards are often unpaid. The job can be stressful, boring, and thankless. Board members deal with complaints, repairs, insurance, legal issues, unpaid dues, vendors, landscaping contracts, and angry neighbors. A responsible board can protect a community. A careless board can damage it. A controlling board can make life miserable. And an absent board can leave the community financially exposed. That is why the financial side of an HOA matters just as much as the rule book. Many buyers focus only on monthly dues. But the real question is not just, how much are the dues? The real question is the HOA financially healthy? Does it have reserves? Are major repairs planned? Are dues artificially low? Has maintenance been delayed? Are lawsuits pending? Are many homeowners behind on payments? Has the HOA recently issued special assessments? A special assessment is an extra charge to homeowners, often used when the HOA needs money beyond regular dues. Maybe the roof needs replacement. Maybe the roads need repair. Maybe insurance costs have exploded. Maybe the community pool needs major work. If the reserves are not enough, homeowners may suddenly owe hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. For a family living paycheck to paycheck, that can be devastating. Marcus and Elena discover this in their second year. The HOA announces a special assessment for drainage repairs. The amount is not impossible, but it hurts. At the same time, they are still fighting the work van fines. Now they are paying their mortgage, regular HOA dues, a special assessment, violation fines, and legal letters. The stress enters the home. Elena starts checking the mailbox with anxiety. Marcus feels watched every time he pulls into the driveway. Their neighbors avoid talking about it because nobody wants to get involved. The home that once represented stability now feels like pressure. This is the emotional side of HOA conflict that documents do not show. It is not just about money. It is about feeling powerless in the place where you are supposed to feel safe. And yet, from the HOA board's perspective, they may believe they are protecting the community. They see one exception becoming 10 exceptions. They worry that if they do not enforce rules evenly, the association could be accused of selective enforcement. They worry homeowners will stop respecting the rules. They worry property values will suffer. So the board says no. The homeowner feels targeted. The board feels responsible. The conflict grows. This is how ordinary neighborhoods become battlegrounds. There is another issue many buyers overlook. HOA rules can affect future plans. Maybe you want to rent your home someday. The HOA may limit rentals. Maybe you want solar panels. The HOA may have design requirements. Maybe you want to run a small business from home. There may be restrictions. Maybe you want to build an addition. You may need architectural approval. Maybe you want to park an RV, boat, trailer, or work vehicle. Many HOAs restrict them. Maybe you want a certain dog breed, a backyard shed, artificial turf, a flagpole, security cameras, or a different exterior paint color. The answer may depend on the documents. And because rules differ from one HOA to another, there is no single universal answer. That is why reading the documents before buying is not optional. It is protection. A buyer should look at the CC&Rs, bylaws, rules, budget, reserve study, insurance information, meeting minutes, pending lawsuits, violation policies, rental restrictions, parking rules, pet rules, architectural guidelines, and fee history. That sounds boring. But it can save years of stress. The most expensive document is often the one you did not read. Marcus and Elena eventually speak with an attorney. The attorney does not promise a miracle. Instead, she asks for documents, the deed restrictions, the violation letters, the fine schedule, the meeting minutes, the architectural guidelines, the collection policy. The attorney explains that HOA disputes are not always about who feels right. They are about what the documents allow, what state law requires, and whether the association followed proper procedure. Did the HOA give proper notice? Did it allow a hearing? Did it apply the rule consistently? Was the rule valid? Were the fines authorized? Were the charges reasonable? Did the board act within its authority? This is where homeowners sometimes win, not because they dislike the rule, but because the HOA failed to follow its own process. A board cannot simply invent penalties. A management company cannot ignore governing documents. An HOA cannot enforce rules in a discriminatory way. It cannot violate federal law. It cannot exceed its legal authority. But homeowners must document everything: letters, emails, dates, photos, payment receipts, meeting notices, board decisions. Without records, the dispute becomes emotion against procedure, and procedure often wins. After months of pressure, Marcus and Elena request a formal hearing. They bring photos of similar vehicles in other driveways. They bring proof that the van is necessary for work. They bring copies of the rules. They remain calm. That matters. Because in HOA disputes, anger may feel justified, but it rarely helps. The board listens. Some members are unmoved, but one new board member asks a question. If the purpose of the rule is to prevent ugly, oversized, or clearly commercial clutter, does this clean van really violate the spirit of the rule? Another asks whether the rule needs updating because more people work from home, run small businesses, or use vehicles for independent contracting. For the first time, the issue becomes larger than one homeowner. It becomes a conversation about whether old rules still fit modern life. This is important. Many HOA rules were written years ago, sometimes decades ago. They may not reflect how people live now. Work from home culture has changed. Delivery vehicles are common. Home security cameras are common. Solar panels are common. Drought-tolerant landscaping is common. Electric vehicle chargers are common. Short-term rentals have changed neighborhoods. Housing costs have changed family living arrangements. Rules that once seemed simple can become outdated. A good HOA updates carefully. A bad HOA clings to old rules without thinking. Eventually, Marcus and Elena reach a compromise. The fines are reduced. The van may stay if it meets certain conditions. The board agrees to review the vehicle policy. The special assessment still hurts. The stress does not disappear overnight. But the fight teaches them something they wish they had known earlier. An HOA is not just something that happens to you. It is something homeowners can influence, but only if they participate early. Run for the board. Attend meetings. Read budgets. Ask questions before crises happen. Vote in elections. Request records. Talk to neighbors before anger builds. Know the rules before breaking them. And if the HOA acts unfairly, document everything and get proper advice. For buyers, the lesson is even clearer. Before buying into an HOA, do not only look at the house, look at the system around the house. A beautiful neighborhood can hide bad management. Low dues can hide underfunded reserves. Strict rules can protect value, or they can create daily frustration. A friendly board can change after an election. A quiet community can become expensive after one major repair. The house may be perfect, but if the HOA does not match your lifestyle, the home may never feel like yours. So ask yourself hard questions. Are you comfortable asking permission before changing the outside of your home? Can you afford dues if they increase? Can you handle rules about parking, landscaping, pets, rentals, and design? Do you want amenities enough to pay for them? Do you trust the community's financial health? Have you read the documents? Have you reviewed the meeting minutes? Have you checked whether the HOA is involved in lawsuits? Have you asked about special assessments? Have you looked at reserve funds? Have you spoken to current residents? These questions may feel uncomfortable before buying, but they are easier than fighting after closing. Because the truth about HOAs is complicated. They can protect neighborhoods. They can maintain shared spaces. They can create beautiful communities. They can also overreach. They can become political. They can punish small mistakes too harshly. They can create financial pressure. They can turn neighbors into enemies. And they can remind homeowners that ownership inside an association is not the same as ownership without restrictions. For some people, an HOA is worth it. For others, it is a deal breaker. Neither answer is automatically wrong. The danger is not the HOA itself. The danger is not understanding what the HOA can do. That letter in the mailbox may only be a warning, or it may be the beginning of a long, expensive fight. The difference often comes down to knowledge. Read before you sign. Ask before you assume. Document before you argue. Participate before you complain. And remember this: when you buy a home, you are not just choosing a building. You are choosing a neighborhood. You are choosing rules. You are choosing a system. And sometimes, the most powerful thing in the neighborhood is not the biggest house, the tallest fence, or the nicest lawn. It is the small line in the contract that nobody bothered to read.